Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. We're in the UK, it's the start of a heat wave, we've got a football pitch behind us, and I'm feeling better today. Over the course of the weekend, it was kind of like a hangover from the Michael Olise not signing for Chelsea deal and him going to Bayern Munich deal. And now we're back and it's Monday morning, we're feeling good, and today we have got the Chelsea news for you lot. So make sure you're subscribed to the George Benson football channel, because I've got a funny feeling that this isn't the only video that you guys will be seeing today. And whilst you're here, please let me know you're enjoying the videos by hitting the like button on the videos. I know it's not the same when I'm not in the GBFC office, we don't have the light behind us, but we got to make do. Little trip to the UK, trying to get out for the Euros. Still looking for some tickets somewhere, somehow. But we begin with the first story of the day, and this is from Fabrizio Romano. Omari Kellyman on his way to medical as new Chelsea player today before signing 6-year deal with option for further season. All documents reviewed with Aston Villa for a £19 million deal. This means that the Omari Kellyman deal will be completed today. I don't think there's going to be any issues when it comes to an 18-year-old footballer passing a medical. If we were signing Cristiano Ronaldo or a 41-year-old Pepe from Portugal, I might be like, you don't know what's going to happen. But this one should be absolutely completed over the line today. There's been a bit of confusion my side about what position Omari Kellyman actually plays in. When I first looked him up, I thought he was a striker. Turns out he can play as a number 8 or a number 10, and he's left-footed. So it's not like we don't already have a few players that can do that job in the Chelsea squad already. But we move into story number 2. Chelsea interest in Serhou Guirassy of Stuttgart and John Duran of Aston Villa has increasingly gone cold. This to me is a bit of a worry, because the next guy that we're about to speak about is an academy graduate at Barcelona. He's also 18 years old. So when you start losing interest in your 27-year-old Guirassy, who was one of the top scorers below Harry Kane in the Bundesliga last season, even John Duran at this point, if we're talking about like the peak hierarchy of what strikers have excited me when it comes to Chelsea links this summer, John Duran was at the bottom of the rung. I'm not going to lie to you. I think when it comes to Premier League experience, yes, he scored a few goals for Aston Villa, but we need experience in this squad. For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. And I will revisit this video and the numerous other videos that I have made where I've said that Chelsea will come short again if we don't invest in more older players in the squad. The squad is too young. Enzo Maresca has got a very set-in-stone system. He is very adaptable, yes, but at the same time, if the players can't understand quickly exactly what it is that he needs to do, you've taken Thiago Silva, who's an amazing footballing mind that was definitely helpful throughout the whole of last season for the young players to have a bit of relativity around them, to be able to understand better by seeing a player who can adopt strategy quickly. So Guirassy was such a cheap option, which is why I'm baffled as to how Chelsea haven't really engaged with this. 15 million quid for a player who only scored less than Harry Kane in the Bundesliga last season. And when we're talking about signing players like Omari Kellyman for 19 million, yes, it's all because of PSR ruling and Chelsea are scratching Villa's back so that they scratched ours. It's actually a joke. It's a complete joke. But it's not a joke in the sense of like, it's real, but it shouldn't be the way that we're doing business. So, Guirassy and Duran are no longer on the Chelsea radar. So, talks between Chelsea and Marc Guiu. I actually listened to a pronunciation video before this, and it's now completely evaded me. Guiu, I think it is. Agents are very advanced, with the club confident to make it happen. €6 million release clause available, with CFC ahead of other clubs keen, also after talks with the agent and the family. Barca have still no positive feedback to new deal proposals. So, this lad, €6 million. He's the same age as Omari Kellyman. And I think when you're talking about fees of around €6 million, I kind of feel as though this has got to be done. And I think this is the thing that I have when it comes to Chelsea's insistence on signing young players. I think a lot of it is down to the fact that we're overpaying Omari Kellyman's market value is £1 million. We are paying 19 times more than that. That is absolutely mind-blowing. So even if Guiu, even if his market value was 1 million, it's only 6 times more, which is still crazy, but also expected in a modern footballing market. So I think this could be one of those deals where, because it is so low, obviously the lower the value usually equates to the lower the expectation on a player, which I think also psychologically benefits that player, because price tags, particularly the ones that Chelsea pay, when they're so inflated, it absolutely has an impact on that player. The player feels as though they'll have to just hit the ground running quickly. Otherwise, Chelsea fans will be like, why did we pay for this guy? And broader football fans will be like, why have Chelsea spent this much money on this guy? He's not worth it. Look at Marc Guiu. This is a perfect example of this right now. People like Gary Neville, that will have watched Marc Guiu last season maybe 7 or 8 times, and only 2 of those were the end-of-season Cucurella form. He thinks he's not good enough for Spain, thinks he shouldn't be picked, and now Cucurella is the best performing left-back at the Euros. But Cucurella is being called an average player or not a very good player because of the price that Chelsea paid for him. So the price always weighs on a player's shoulders when it comes to the way that we see those players and the way that footballing pundits and the footballing world sees those players. So if Chelsea get a deal done here for €6 million, less than 5 million quid for Marc Guiu, then I think we're actually doing some good business. He looks like a serious player for his age. So this could be a good one for Chelsea to go for. Now, this part of the video is the part where I'm just going to whack a picture up on the screen here. This is unbelievable. Estevao Willian, Chelsea's new signing, as the car goes behind me. It's a beautiful day today, guys. Honestly, a few clouds, but the weather is divine. It's 23 degrees at 8:30 in the morning. Estevao Willian doing the Cole Palmer celebration now that his move to Chelsea has been made official, confirmed by clubs, and this is amazing. I absolutely love this. I've just got a feeling that Estevao Willian, as much as there is a lot of young players that Chelsea are buying, there is a lot of scrutiny coming from my side about the transfer policy. We're only buying youngsters, but I've just got a feeling, right? Estevao Willian is going to be unbelievable. And I think Kendry Pires is also going to be unbelievable. So it's more a question of like, what are we going to do with the Angelos? What are we going to do with the maybe Maduekis if he doesn't build upon that end of season form? Because I do think there is going to be an absolute melting pot of brilliance at Chelsea. As much as I think that right now we should be looking at like players that are better than the first team players that we've got to improve the squad and the first team, that's not what we're doing right now. We're still only buying these potential players for the future, but I do think there is enough top quality ones in there already. We move into the next story. Chelsea are internally discussing their next striker target as Lille's Jonathan David and Barcelona's Guiu emerge as options. David available for under 30 million, but there's expected to be competition. Again, when you look at the numbers, I spoke about this yesterday, and a lot of people have agreed with what I've said about Jonathan David being a goal scorer in France, but is that going to translate to being a more all-rounder in the Premier League? Nicholas Jackson last season, heavily disrespected, I think, on the whole. 23 goals and assists in his first season at Chelsea is a £30 million signing. If we can get this out of Jonathan David, share that workload of Nicholas Jackson, and we've also got to remember here, I'm excited right now because it looks as though we'll be going into next season with a much cleaner bill of health than we started last season with, even though a lot of that was down to Nkunku being injured in pre-season. I think we can't rely on Nicholas Jackson being available all year. We could last year. He's a very durable player. He doesn't get big injuries. But I absolutely think Chelsea need options in that front line, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if a player like Marc Guiu actually ended up staying at Chelsea. The question is also from you lot in the comments, why did we sign David Washington? I think this is going to be the thing with Chelsea. With the policy of transfers that we currently have, buying young players, potential for the future, some of them will hit, like your Cole Palmers, Nicholas Jacksons, and some of them won't. Some of them will take too long to adapt to English football. Some of them won't be ready for English football. Case in point, Andre Santos, Angelo Gabriel. Maybe Santos is ready next season, we don't know. But I think with this policy that Chelsea have, there's going to be misses, there's going to be hits. And it's just about making sure that there is more hits than there is failures. And those will be the reasons why Chelsea will become a better team as the years go on. So, the final story that we're going to discuss today is from Di Marzio, an Italian news outlet who is saying that Chelsea are pushing for Nico Williams. He is now the first choice in attack. This is also coming from Sky Sports 2. Not entirely sure if there is any real concrete interest here from Chelsea. We've been interested in the player when it comes to appreciating what he can do on the field and what he could be if Chelsea were to sign him. The issue is, if you don't give Michael Olise the money that Michael Olise wants, which is probably in excess of 200k, Nico Williams wants exactly the same amount of money. So how are Chelsea going to turn their nose up at Michael Olise, which would have been a potentially cheaper deal than a 58 million upfront payment for Nico Williams? Yes, I think when you look at that right side, we're not desperate. Noni was good at the end of last season. You got Estevao joining in a year. You've got players there. You've got Angelo maybe, who could come in. I just don't think he's going to be good enough to get us Champions League football. So you do need an Olise. But when you look at Mudryk, this guy's done nothing, absolutely nothing, to suggest that Chelsea have got anywhere near a top Premier League level left winger. That's the truth of the matter. Mudryk has got speed. Yes, he's got a powerful shot in training. I've got a powerful shot. If I was to go there now and stand in front of that goal and start pinging balls, and you measure the speed of it, I've got a powerful shot. Do you know what I mean? It means nothing if you can't deliver on a semi-consistent basis on the field for Chelsea Football Club. So, Nico Williams, this is an interesting one. If he can lower his demands, are Chelsea going to pay 58 million euros up front for this guy on the left wing? I'm not convinced. After what we have seen here with Michael Olise, I just don't think Chelsea are going to pay this. I really don't. So, I'm interested to see now where this transfer window goes. I would love to hear from you lot in the comments down below. What do you think our transfer window actually looks like? Let me know 5 players that you think we could sign, that we will sign, in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new and haven't already done so. And please let me know you've enjoyed it by hitting the like button. The fact that I've come to the UK, YouTube is hating it because I'm uploading from a different country now. So literally, the videos are being shown to less than a quarter of the usual people. So smack a like if you're watching this. Subscribe if you are new. Come on, you Blues.